with no voice in borrowed rooms, to the magazines that carry their truth. 25 years of the same steady hand, finding the ones who fell through the cracks of the plan. From Mitcham to Croydon, from London to the world, every flag he planted said, you matter, you're heard, but there's a man who finds you in the car.
Yay, here we are. Okay. First things first, I gotta show you something, my friends. Stay on for longer. Okay, so you can. No, disclaimer. Right, Michelle. You want that disclaimer on for longer now, don't you? So I'm gonna have to create a longer version on Canva. Damn.
Disclaimers for legalities. I could.
Yes. Okay. Fine. How do I change the length?
You don't gotta leave it on. How are you?
I'm tired, Michelle. Exhausted is the word I'm looking for, right? But it's fine. We're here. We said we'll do the show to, I guess, educate and, raise awareness of issues that you've been fighting for a long time, Michelle.
This is true.
Yeah. How are you doing? Silly question, because I know, Michelle's day has been full of drama.
I don't know about drama, but I'm in good spirits. Physically, medically, I am not well. Emotionally, a little bit beat up, but I'm here. I'm telling my story. I'm doing what I'm meant to do, right?
That's all right. I say, well, tell our stories, yes, but your story is a hard story. It's
hard to digest a little bit.
It's a case of her story, rather than history in that sense. In that I think it's still a story that people try. I guess we feel that people try to ignore your story, right?
I don't think ignore.
What would you call it?
I think that for my truth and my reality to be acknowledged, that there needs to be accountability on levels that don't necessarily exist in this country.
In what way? In what sense?
It's practice what you preach. Do you walk your talk? Are you an elected official honoring the oath, or a medical professional that took an oath to do no harm? Are you honoring that? That's what I mean.
Sure, you live in the US, the land of happiness, joy, and opportunity, surely.
The divided states of America.
Eh? United. Sorry, you got that wrong, right? Anyway, Michelle shows that America is not the greatest place on earth as we're meant to believe. I still think it's the greatest place on earth. London's very good, to be fair. But America, Michelle is going to show some of the cracks in the American, I don't know, is it society? Is it systems? More American systems, right?
I think it's the American system that is put into play in the poor communities.
Hmm. It's a higher pool.
What do you mean?
Um, Akron, I call it Akron. I don't know. I don't know.
Akron.
Yeah. Is that a poor place, or is that just is that just another place to me, right?
I think that Akron is it's a really good blend of, everything. I mean, anywhere you go, typically you're gonna have poor neighborhoods, middle class neighborhoods, wealthier neighborhoods. I mean, I think that regardless of your demographic location, my scenario exists in everyday. It ain't, I don't even think it's really just America. I think that globally the systemic problems that I'm facing exist.
Mm. Yeah, well, you know, I'm sure our friends are wondering what are they waffling about. I see you, Cherry. How you doing? My eyesight's going to be funny. Jay, I see you as well. Of course, there's more people here. If you're here,
I miss
Miss
them.
Miss Paulette, now do say hi so I can welcome you properly, right? So what language is Cherry speaking now? Or Hawaii? I suppose the Hawaii is many places, right? So I'd love to know what the language that is, Cherry. So anyway, she says she loves you right back. Yay. Yeah, that's to the stars are back to the moon and back, right? So Michelle's had a hard time. This is the point. But thank you for joining us. And if you're here, say hello so we can introduce
Hello, thank you for
us.
joining.
And then if you want to join the conversation, I've got the link somewhere. I've got the link in the chat because I just sent it to Madam Paulette, who I'm sure is in the audience. Right, I've gone to the wrong place. Have you started? Yes, Paulette, we started. Yes, yes,
There it is.
yes. Yeah. Where's the link? Okay, that's the restream link. So that's it. Yep.
So you said you made a couple videos?
A couple of videos, Michelle. A couple of videos, just two. No,
Oh
Michelle.
man.
It's not two. You know.
I will say though, like, disclaimer, like I haven't even seen these
Yeah,
videos.
you know what? They're your videos. So I'm saying, no, you've seen them. You've seen them. Nothing's gonna surprise you. It
Well, no, it won't
it might
surprise
it might
me.
surprise our friends in the audience. So let me do the disclaimer thing again. Now I worked it out right. It's something when we show you a disclaimer, right?
My heart is like, oof.
Why? Calm down. Stay calm. Stay calm. You're perfectly fine. Okay, right. Look, we're going to show you some pictures, some videos that they terrify me anyway. So they might terrify you. But let's tell us the story, Michelle. Tell us what are we here for? What's happened to you? What's the system issues? I'm going big that way. You can talk for longer. Saves me talking again for a while.
I guess what brought us to where we are today, obviously people that follow along and that pay attention or have joined previous events, they know like my daughter and I went through a fire in February of 2023. That ignited me being dealing with fraudulent renters insurance, and then it basically just over the last 3 years it is like snowballed into something much more bigger systemically, to a lot of misappropriation of business funds, racketeering, fraudulent things that I thought I was doing the right thing by filing formal complaints in different agencies at different levels, from city, county, state, federal. I mean, I've gone all the way to the United Nations Human Rights Council, who did accept the grievance. There was like a almost 18-month investigation that I don't know the results of. There's been a lot of court cases in between. We was moved into a different apartment on the same property that was unsafe. A city official informed me that they knew about 300 health and safety violations. Then I was trying to clean up around my apartment. Thought I got poison ivy because that's what the doctor said. And then after a couple months, as it spread through my body, I seen a university hospital specialist. And on June 6th of 2024, I was diagnosed with a parasitic infection. She told me that she needed to know what I was exposed to that poisoned me in order to treat it. So I immediately was reaching out to different agencies, reached out to a few schools, like colleges, thinking that maybe we could get like students to do environmental studies, like just anything I could think of. 10 months later, an ODNR geologist came out. This is on April 21st of 2025. It's like 10 months after being sick, like really sick. And he walked the property with me for 3 hours. And that's when I was informed that I have been exposed to raw sewage that was leaking into the ground and the water all around our apartments. So I reported it to the city and the county and the state again. And then I thought that they were coming to help, and like basically the city's blaming the county for interior inspections and structural engineering stuff. The county's saying the city doesn't. Nobody's doing it, but there was a flood and it made the road collapse. But as the road collapsed and like got sucked down the river, it ripped out the retaining walls. So our building was shifting and the mold, and then like our stairs and our decks were dry rotting. Like it was just really unsafe. So it got to the point that pro se I filed escrow. I have an open escrow case right now. It has about $13,000 in it, basically the full year's rent. And so I was being subjected to a lot of retaliation and a lot of brutal psychological, maybe like warfare type things. I started documenting it. Neighbors would text me like pictures of drones above my apartment, and it got to the point that it was really bad. So I found what I learned to be, it's called IoT technology, like there's IoT tech grids, and it's called mesh surveillance. And it's where they use smart devices to surveil you and to monitor things. So in the apartment, I came across said devices, and anybody going through what I would go through would probably have a mental breakdown. So where I thought, me and my therapist agreed I was going to go to a psychiatric unit for the weekend to expedite case management. So because we agreed, like it wasn't safe to go back to the apartment. Like this had been going on for 2 years. It had just gotten out of control. Somewhere along the lines of that agreement, a pink slip came up. So a pink slip is when like they feel that you're at a mental health bad place, but they feel that you are going to harm yourself or other people. At no point in time was I ever a harm to myself or anybody else. And so they did this pink slip, and they took me to where I thought I was going, but then an ambulance showed up in the middle of the night. They took me out of the city, and after 72 hours, I was still told I wasn't allowed to leave. And then it was about 150 hours into it that I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? Like they literally legally had to let me out of the hospital. Like, they didn't want to. They legally had to. So right now, where we're at is it was definitely not safe where we were living, and I knew that. So I had my sister took Angelina to put her in a safe home and get her in a safe school system. That then turned into me now fighting. It's not even like, I can't say I'm fighting to get custody back in the sense of I'm homeless and in and out of Airbnbs, and I was at a homeless shelter for a little bit, and then obviously in the streets, a couple friends here and there. So it's like I don't have a safe home to give her, but in the custody court case, they're telling me that I'm not allowed to talk about the escrow case and the $13,000 that I believe I deserve back. I'm not allowed to talk about that case, but I'm being told that I don't get my kid back because I'm unsafe. And then a report was provided to the court that says I was mentally unwell, delusional. I believe the government's following me. All these things that are very inaccurate, and I can prove that. But it's like it's just it's crazy. It has snowballed to the point where this parasitic infection, that's like legal things and systemic things, but the medical is that because of being denied medical care for so long, the infection is spread systemically in my body. So worms come out of my jaws and my lips and my tongue. They've come out of my right nipple, my left. May 22nd, 2025, like removed a breast tumor, and weeks later it grew back, and now there's multiple breast tumors, and one of them is now coming on the outside of the breast. uh it's a lot. I'm getting overwhelmed, so I think I need you to, oh my god.
Me, so I'm a bit slow to get back. It is a hell of a lot. It is. I
I
mean,
can't get no help. I thought, I really thought that by not going back to the old life when the fire happened and like selling drugs and doing what I knew how to do to fix it, and by going to our elected officials, and I thought I was gonna get help. But then I had a doctor say that I was doing this harm to myself and only there because I wanted drugs. And they kicked me out of the hospital, but there was this like big hole in my eye, and like this blood and pus was leaking out. And then my primary just gave me this referral to the infectious disease doctor, and they refused to schedule an appointment. And I've only seen my kid less than 5 hours since August.
that's poor. Let's say that's a real scary time. Scary time doesn't even describe it, right?
Paula was trying to help me through it so much. She was doing everything she could.
But look, slow down a minute. Slow down a minute. I mean, I don't know. I don't know which one is worse. Like all round, I really don't. I don't know. Which one is worse. So there's the issue around your housing, which is it has a knock-on effect on your daughter because you can't. You can't look after it. You can't provide a stable home for your child. Then she's had to be taken away. Okay, so that's bad enough, right? And then, but the reason you haven't got a stable home is because yeah, I'll send you the link, Sherry. The reason you haven't got a stable home is because of what, Michelle?
Because there's a lot of not okay things. Like, there's a lot of elected officials and city leaders not doing their jobs, and there's a lot of fraudulent and corrupt business activity being allowed to happen
Mm-hmm.
despite evidence being submitted of said allegations. My dad taught me one thing, and it was, you don't never say anything that you can't prove, because even if you tell the truth, you will be called a liar.
Mm. So that makes perfect sense, right? I guess that the fact is the housing situation, losing your daughter, comes be like, uh,
And then
it's
being sick through it
yeah,
all. Like,
it all comes back to your housing situation in the first place.
yep,
I say a few years ago, you experienced a fire, you got moved to a place, and then everything just went downhill from there.
yep. And then it was just like this snowball. Like, it just began because of like not right, like fraudulent renter's insurance. But
Mm.
then it was the couldn't meet with the real estate broker to discuss the lease. Oh, he's dead. Then it's, like it was just one thing after another. And I thought going to city council, then county council, the mayor, the county executive. I thought going to the attorney general, going to the governor, going to our congresswoman, the Department of Commerce. I went to the Department of Insurance, went to the Department of Justice. It's like I thought I was doing the right thing every step of the way.
I
And then
guess
it's like I feel my eyes statement. I feel like everything got weaponized against me, because it's like it's so bad that in order for it to get fixed, somebody has to take accountability.
right. Okay, hold it together, hold it together. So I'll send you the link in a second, Cherry. So Lisa, welcome. So sending you love and hugs, my rebel sis, and I'm so glad you're here. So, uh, Colton, yeah, Colton Reed. Right? I can't even begin to comprehend. No,
He lived there. He lived on the property. He was with me through so much of the psychological rape.
hmm, I tell you, United States of America in 2026, ridiculous. Okay, let's carry on. So, we're here to, I guess, raise awareness of your reality and the reality of, say, of course, Colton's reality as well. It's not just you. There's many people.
I mean, it's not even just me and Colin. Like,
Hmm.
literally, like there there is being raw sewage dumped in our water everywhere. 20,000 or more gallons of raw sewage was just dumped into Mosquito Lake. Over 200,000 gallons of raw sewage was just dumped into the Potomac in our capital's backyard. So the parasitic infection that is systemically took over my body, while everybody wants to say I'm the crazy one, a lot more people are going to start getting sick. People walk in nature. People kayak in rivers. People fish and eat the food. Like, it's literally a very scary ripple effect.
Hmm. Yeah, it's scary. Is not the word for it, Michelle. Okay, so you see the sewage, and you know that is affecting you, right? You know it's there,
Well, I mean, I do. It took 10 months
right? So
before we had an ODNR come confirm.
so at the time, I remember when you had other issues with around the structure of the property was the fact that the ground was moving constantly,
That was because of the flood and the
right?
shifting. Yep. The
You know,
subfloors inside my apartment, like the because there's this class action lawsuit, and the lawyer then had me do this maintenance call. So when the maintenance people came, they had like ripped up my carpet, and underneath of the carpet, like the building was shifting. So when you would pull up the carpet and when you looked at it, the subfloors under the carpet were all shattering. Our doors, like when you would open and close our doors, like there would be gaps in the frames in our window. Like upstairs, it wouldn't open appropriately because like the building's foundation was literally shifting. The retaining wall, like 15 feet from our building, it destroyed. I've posted so many photos of it.
okay, so let's go there. That part where you posted videos of what's happening, right? What's the response to your videos? What's the response? Of course, you've done videos, you've done the emails to people.
I
You
don't
don't,
get on
oh,
social media to engage with people how it's typically used. So when I'm making my content and when I'm publishing my articles, and it's not, I I do the work and the research and gather the data and do the citations and reference checking to make sure that I'm being factual and safe about what I'm putting out there. So as far as I feel I've already done, it's up to other people. Other people have to help spread the awareness. I can't do it no more. I've
yeah,
been doing this alone for 3 years.
yeah. Well, and that's why we're here, right? Yeah.
I sent you a couple pictures. I mean, I think it would help also, like,
A couple.
listen, there's like over 15,000
Yes,
photos,
and they
videos,
just, and they
documents.
just. I've just shared the link, in the comments, or in the chat. So I will send. I said I'm going to send it to Cherry, so I'll do that in a second. What is this thing doing? Why are you not showing me what I'm looking for? I know what I'm trying. Okay, that's why. Yeah, so I've got to say we've got a few pictures, a few videos to show you for some unknown reason.
It's because, when people don't see it and they only hear it, I think
Mm,
that the visual makes a difference than just hearing it.
yeah,
But a
that's a
big
big
reason I
difference.
wanted to share the photos is because when you have medical professionals that take an oath to do no harm
Mm,
and you see these photos, how do you tell that patient that they're self-harming and they're drug seeking and delusional and kick them out of the hospital? Like, I don't understand.
hmm. Okay. I suppose let's take a couple of steps back because no, so now you know that there is sewage, raw sewage in this unsafe property of yours, around the unsafe property of yours, right?
Mhm.
What do you do? Do
I try
you?
to like tell everybody, and I send things to the news people. Nobody responds. I'm trying to reach out to the mayor and the city, but I'm being told by the error messages that I can't go through on their servers. I mean, I'm literally like at basically, like, I found out April 21st that it was raw sewage. And by the first week of August, I was put in that psych ward for that 150 hours. And it was
Hmm.
so traumatizing that the moment I got released, I withdrew as lead plaintiff from the class action lawsuit against the property management. I was representing 50,000 plus people. I I never went back to the apartment. I've been homeless ever since.
But I suppose you went to go and document to get evidence of the sewage. That's wasn't your
No,
neighbor.
I haven't seen anything since I was released from
No, I say,
the psych
but
ward to like see how much worse it's got. Every
okay,
photo, every video is pre-psych ward.
okay, but before that, you've actually been to the sewage yourself to actually see it for yourself.
You have pictures of it, yeah.
Okay, there's a reason I say that because that explains many of the symptoms that you have. Jackie, how you doing? Paulette, I see you too, of course.
Hi.
It's nice and snug, Paulette. Okay, so Jackie's, Michelle's friend, right?
Hey,
Yes.
Jackie, we've known each other like 10 years. We went to barber school together. And she actually lives out close to Mosquito Lake, which got raw sewage dumped in it.
As well. I see that. Jackie, I feel for you. That's all I can say. You know,
Oh yeah, I don't drink the water.
try
Terrible that we have to
try
shower
not.
in it.
No one wants to. The way Michelle suffers is amazingly ridiculous.
It is terrible.
It's
It's
like,
disgusting, actually,
it really
that
is.
she has to go through that.
I'm horrified. I've seen way too many pictures that leave me traumatized.
Yes.
Let me show you something what this sewage thing looks like. Yeah. I'm not going to show you raw sewage in that way, just to give you an idea that this is a real thing, right? It's only a few seconds that you get to see.
So that was the marker that appeared in the ground after the ODNR geologist came to the property. We were never told about them. I found those well documented. You're muted.
Thank actually. Okay. Paulette, so you know Michelle enough, right? And I'm sure. So
I know Michelle enough to know that I've sat by that river with her. I've watched her take videos. I've watched her take pictures of the water rising. I've sat with her looking at cracks in the porch, cracks outside where she sat. I mean, the story is, from my perspective, you were hidden, you were put away so that you were out of the way, and they thought that would frighten you enough to shut you up, and therefore that would be the end of the matter. But what they've actually done is fueled you not to run, which was at one time the option on your mind, was just to get the hell out of Dodge and never to come back. Now that your daughter is settled, you haven't got to stress. It's not great to be away from her. I'm not saying it is, but it's allowed
But
you
it
the
took that
time.
worry away.
It's taken that worry away, and it gives you the emphasis to go, right, now I can actually make some decisions about what I do. And I think even putting you in a psych ward is like saying nothing she says is real. Those things in the sky didn't really happen that you've got videos of, that they really weren't watching your bloody room. I remember the red car coming in. I remember the white car coming in, and you saying to me, they're watching me. Do you remember that, Michelle?
I do. You like that, and
And
that's the thing is like, how do you call somebody delusional that the like when
because
you read
if
about
there's nobody
whistleblowers,
else, because if there's
whistleblower
nobody else
101,
there, they think
document
they've
the
got you.
documenters. That
Yeah,
is like
but you see,
whistleblower 101.
sweetie, the problem you have, and this is not me being in any way, shape, or form dismissing what you're saying. You could take raw sewage and rub it in their nose, and they'd go, no, no, smells like roses, right?
Yep.
Because the point is, they've got to the point where they've got to hide. It's like so much that's going on in the world right now. It's delusional in themselves. They can't admit what's going on. They can't admit what they've done. They were trying to sell those places. Do you remember? They were
They
selling them
did.
with a swimming pool and a
It did get
gym
sold.
that had
Yep.
never been opened, and the swimming pool was all moved and cracked and couldn't be used. Correct?
That's why the kids were playing in the river, and I'm freaking out, telling the kids like, stay out of that water.
And the point is I'm making is the way that they have dismissed you is by selling properties. They're saying, shut that bloody woman up because she's stopping us selling the other properties.
Yep.
Put her in a nut ward, as they call them, or a psych ward. And that says that everything that she says is delusional. Everything that she says is invalid. But you documented and took action. You've got the paperwork, the videos, everything to prove it. You've even gone through the courts of the international courts, the United Nations. You've done everything you physically could. And as much as it was exhausting, I did as much as I could by your side.
And I
But
was so
it
grateful.
was so tough to watch, so tough to believe that this was America. This was how they were treating their citizens. And after everything you'd been through and all the trauma with the fire, to then put you in this position and then wonder why you ended up in a psych ward. Well, actually, you didn't need a psych ward. You just needed somebody to listen to you and do something about it. And that's the truth. You didn't need a psych ward. You might have needed a rest, but you certainly
I
didn't
needed
need
the
a psych
rest.
ward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I needed the
There's a
rest.
big difference between a rest and a psych ward. And when you're in psychiatric assessment, their job, and I know this for a fact, their job is to prove that you're needing their care, right? I'm going to rewind a little bit. I'll tell you how bad this whole system was. Michelle was in hospital, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, and I apologize if you do.
No, you're okay. You're good.
Right. You were in hospital. You were in a great deal of pain. The doctor hadn't written up for painkillers. Do you remember this? They said you couldn't have the painkillers. And you said, I can't cope without the painkillers.
Yep.
And they said, well, you just got to leave because they're not written up. You ain't going to get them. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I was on the phone to you going, well, this doesn't make any sense. They must know you need the painkillers. And you were like, yeah, but because the doctor didn't write them up, blah, 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 blah. Then they said, go home, just dismiss you, go home. And by this time, I think you'd managed to get a taxi. No, your neighbor kindly came and got you, I think, if I'm right. But then they sent the prescription that you needed to
They
the
sent an
pharmacy.
antibiotic.
That's right, an antibiotic to the pharmacy. And then they said, you said, well, how am I supposed to get it? I don't have a means of transport. And then I said, well, I'll pay for an Uber. And then you got to the pharmacy and they said you have to pay for them because they weren't put on the Medicaid or whatever the bloody name of the thing is, they weren't covered, right?
And then it turned out to be an antibiotic I was allergic to.
But the point I can't understand, and again, I apologize for sounding so crazed, because we're in the NHS system over here that isn't great, but by goodness, it makes a difference when you hear what's going on over there. So we arranged for me to pay for the antibiotics to help you because you're in so much pain, to get you back then in an Uber back to the flat, right? And then you say to me, I'm allergic to these antibiotics, right?
Yep.
And it's like, what the effing hell? What
Had the doctor talked to me and not kicked me out of the ER, he would have known I couldn't take that medicine.
You see, there we go. So all the way through, it doesn't matter. Now, I'm going to just say this because sometimes someone from a different country, and he said the other day I had balls, and I don't really know that I have got balls, but maybe I have. But I will tell you what I feel. And this is this, that how dare they kick you out the ER when you are ill? How dare they just dismiss you without giving you the medication that you needed? And this is not somebody who's got the ump with you because you've been taking photographs or because of anything else. This is nothing to do with the case. This is just another way that Michelle feels beaten up by the systems, correct?
Yep.
And when you're down and you're being kicked and kicked and kicked, all you can think of is the world is against me. That isn't a psychiatric problem. That is a mental breakdown. And
I know, like
who
when they said,
wouldn't have a mental breakdown with everything that was going on, right?
when they said that I was paranoid, that I believe the government is following me, it's like I would be naive to think I wasn't on surveillance or a watch list of some kind. Like, what US citizen literally goes through what I went through with city council, mayor, county council, executor, then going to all the departments, then the attorney general, then the governor, then the representative, then the DOJ, I would be naive to believe I wasn't under some form of surveillance. Like, I'm knocking on the government's front door begging for help.
And taking videos and showing them. And that's what they came to watch.
I record my conversations with these officials, and on one of my devices, a recording you heard, the recording when the city official said there was 300 housing violations. All of a sudden, that recording has been recorded over with driving sounds. I don't have a car. I'm never driving for there to be a recording of turn signals and audio driving. But I think for me, the most idiotic part of that is that what was recorded over was a duplicate. The original is on the device that's never been connected to the internet. So I now have the original and I have a duplicate that somehow has been recorded over.
And I saw the cars. You know, I saw the lights. I saw the drones. And I'm not crazy. You're not crazy. This was happening. Your neighbor was
Neighbors were
sitting with you.
texting me photos of it happening.
Your neighbor was coming out and going, oh my God, look, they're all over there. You know, everybody was aware. It wasn't just you. In that block, there was some that wanted to put their head in the sand and go, please don't involve me. I can't cope with it all. And you know what? That's some people are fair enough. They're not. I mean, if you asked me to do it today, I'd probably say the same because I'm not great. But you know what? Those people were scared. And what they did to you is terrorize you, hoping.
I had neighbors tell me to
scare
commit
you.
suicide. I had neighbors say it was my fault. Why do I live there? Like, how do you live in a home, pay full rent. It wasn't subsidized. There wasn't government funding. Like I pay full rent, full utilities, buy groceries, normal life. Why is it my fault that I expect to live in a safe home and I expect my elected city officials to ensure that the property management company is following the law? Like I don't understand how this was my fault. I don't understand why I don't even understand how another human being could tell somebody to kill themselves because they're fighting back against this.
No, it was never your fault. That's the point,
No.
Michelle. That's the point. You know,
No.
I'm sure people wondering what are they what's that. It's on the
It's not playing the
streets.
video.
You know, it's a restream problem because you know when I play it in the background, it plays perfectly. You can see sewage on
I
the full.
told you to be prepared for technical glitching during this event. I was not
It's
joking.
all right. No, that's
Well, the
a.
thing, Annie, what I would suggest, if am I on mute? Can you hear me?
No, yeah.
Okay, I was going to say maybe you could actually put some of the references to the videos so people can go and watch them. Is there any way we can do that? Because at least then people can see what we saw and understand the see there's something.
Odd.
Gosh, I can't get my words today because I don't feel
There's
great.
something odd
There's
when it
more
comes
than
to
it's more than
this
odd.
Ramos.
There is something about the truth and a lie. And when the truth hurts other people or puts other people in a position where they're vulnerable, they are on the hook, they are potentially somebody who could be in trouble and have lawsuits against them, not just by you, but by every other person in that block. It's like, how do we shut the troublemaker up? And I saw that. Really, I did. And
I don't even know how many nights you, Cherry, like countless nights of hours crying.
because people care and because people want to help. I mean, you disappeared, and I was like, maybe she got the money and she got to Germany, right? That was my first thought. Then it was the number changed. There was no phone number. The phone went dead. I was like, okay. And I said to Annie, what's going on? And he's like, no clue. Michelle's disappeared off the face of the earth. And I'm like, this whole thing stinks. And all I could think of was, there's more to this than meets the eye. And I thought that you were being, and I'm going to say what I'm going to say, but I wondered if they had somehow put something on you so they had incarcerated you. Because that was what I figured was the next place they would go, which is, she's a danger to society because, she's spreading all this malicious, this, that, and the other. I don't know how anybody can sleep at night when they've done this to somebody. And I don't honestly know how they expect any human being.
Yeah, right?
Is it happening? No. I don't think any human being would be able to cope with what you've done. So to come through not only everything you've done, but to come through all of this psychiatric nonsense and everything else, don't take it the wrong way. I'm sure the rest was useful because you needed a rest. The rest of what they do to you, the psychiatric stuff, the try to blame stuff on you, the accusations, the, are you suicidal, you're this, they will have recorded it very differently to how it happened, right? So if they said to you, have you ever considered killing yourself? And you're going to say, things got that bad? Of course I have. Of course I wouldn't anybody in this situation. Oh, right. Okay.
And the
Suicidal.
thing was, I
Right?
never once thought about ending my own life. Like, and me and my therapist had talked about it all the time. Like, I was
You
fighting
told
for a
me
safe
as a
home.
friend. I asked you as a friend. I said,
Mhm.
"Are you there?" And you said,
It's
"I
not
promise
like,
you,
right.
I'm not."
It's like, it's not that I didn't want to live because I don't want to live. It's who wants to be living through
This
this
life.
day after day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had all that. I don't know if you want to speak about it, but it had the additional health concerns that were going on as well. That I don't know where we're at with that, so I don't want to say too much.
I mean, there's no way of knowing. Like, we removed a breast tumor, and within weeks, multiple have come back. There's now a mass growing on the outside of my left breast. Worm, parasite things have come out of the right breast. Blood and pus leak from it all the time. Worms are coming out of my jaws, my lips, my tongue. My face swells up so bad, and there's something in my retina, like I can look directly into the sun, and like how I look at light now, like they did this image scan, and again the doctor said nothing's wrong, but then I'm looking at the image, like dead in the center of my retina you see a foreign object. I was in
So
Vegas
these
and I got
wormy
put in the
worm
hospital.
things, Michelle.
Mhm.
What have you done with it? Have you collected any of these things? Oh, obviously you've photographed them, but have you
I mean,
actually?
I was collecting them, and then like, and he has this photo of one that came out of my breast, and I gave it to the doctor. But then
Yeah.
after you're being told that you're delusional and you're self-harming and you're a drug addict, and after you have these medical professionals dismissing you, like, I've stopped collecting them. Like, I take, obviously, like, once I've extracted it, I'll take a photo to document it. But like, as far as like putting specimens in containers and freezing it and giving it to the doc, I've stopped doing that. What's the point?
And this is the point. I'm muted. It says
No,
no.
I lost myself.
Everybody needs to understand that if you wear somebody down enough, eventually they'll admit to anything. That's why people get forcibly accused of something.
Ignore me.
Wow, that was good. That worked.
Ignore me.
Ignore you.
My determination.
No, what I was going to say is that the reason people admit to murder, the reason people admit to doing things that they didn't do, is because they get worn down enough and told enough times. Eventually, you believe it yourself, and you say, "Well, I must be delusional because that can't have happened, and I must be going crazy because." And then your AI and everything else that you've got that's helping you and supporting you and giving you fact checks and making sure that what you're saying and doing is correct, and you go, actually no, I'm not incorrect, and I'm not mad, and I haven't lost the plot, and it's everybody else around me, right? And then when you
And there
feel
was
like
a
an
long
island.
2 years ago, there was like many months that I did need to step back, and I was asking myself, like, are you crazy? Like, this can't be real. But then when the neighbors started pointing out things, and when neighbors started sending me pictures of drones and telling me about the weird people, like, then it's like, okay, like, no, like, this is really happening. And then it's like, well, I don't want to talk about it until I can prove it, because I knew I was going to be called a liar.
I think that's the part that's so hard, is that when you know something to be true, this is what I was saying about the truth and the lie. When you know something is the truth, and yet you're faced against this huge body that you're fighting, it seems like it's impossible, Now, today, a young girl, 20 years old, you were yesterday, took on Meta and took on YouTube, and she won.
I seen it.
And I thought of you because it felt like it is one of those Goliath moments, you know, where it's like the impossible seems possible when you actually see something like that happen. But
Somebody
when
achieved
they've managed
the
so
unachievable.
much, but she's got the solicitors involved, she's got the people on board. You see, as soon as you speak to somebody, they're gonna go, oh, hang on, oh, they've got here psychiatric, oh, here they've got that she's delusional, and she's, you know, this, that, and the other. And unfortunately, psychiatric information would be divulged as part of a legal case because you have to swap evidence. So they would use that in a state and say, yeah, we had to section her for however long because of this, that, and the other. And actually, your solicitor's got to be big enough and brassy enough and strong enough to say, actually, that was another one of your ways to
Well, I
try
have
and
no
quieten
lawyers
her.
helping me, but that's where we're at right now because of the custody case and what was put in the Guardian ad litem report is we are actively waiting on my therapist, that company's medical records. And with that, we requested the pink slip as well as the judge signed court order with the full explanation of why
Why?
I needed to be held for the 150 hours.
Yep.
So I'm still waiting on these records, even though they're my own records and it's been more than 30 days.
And you have legal coverage now.
No, I have no lawyers helping. I've done everything pro se.
Right.
I'm actually
so,
being sued for practicing law without a license
I
because of the
remember.
escrow case.
Yeah, but you weren't. All you was doing was giving suggestion. And that's very different. I give suggestion. If people come to me for example, if someone comes to me in debt, right? And they're suicidal because of debt. They're going to throw themselves off a building because of debt. Sorry, folks. Should have given you a warning. I'd mentioned that. Sorry, warning alert. I just speak. I forget who I'm speaking to. Warning alert. Right, I'm going to talk about suicide. People will do some crazy ass things when they are facing a wall and they don't know how to get under it, over it, or through it, right?
Yep.
And then you say to them, hang on a minute, there are bodies that can help you. We can speak to these people and they will organize a repayment scheme, which means we can put the whole debt, consolidate it and reduce it to this. And they look at you and go, you're going to help me? You do that? And that is me giving suggestion and advice. That is not me saying I am practicing as a FSA or a financial person that needs an ombudsman doctorate or whatever. I'm just giving practical advice, right? You were giving your AI,
I
which
was
is
using I
obviously legal,
statements.
and your practical suggestion. And nobody can say that you were trying to practice law. You've got no company logo saying Michelle Ramos, legal advisor. You've got no customers. You've got no invoices.
I mean, and
You've
it's
got
like, I mean, we
nothing.
should also like, I don't know, I'm not too familiar with over there in London and UK and all that, but here in the United States, our Constitution encourages the pro
Freedom
se
of
and the
speech.
self-education.
Oh, yeah, I remember that thing called freedom of speech. It doesn't mean diddly squat, does it, where you're concerned, right? And this is where I get frustrated and angry. And Charles just said, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." So I don't know if they won or not, but I'll find out in a minute. He was at the pub quiz. The point I wanted to make was that, and I promised I was supposed to go to bed, so whatever. I heard you were doing this, and I said, no, I'll come along. The key for me, and I beg anybody who knows, any lawyers, anybody who works pro bono, anybody who will listen, just listen, not judge. Let's not judge, because when there's bits of paper that say X, Y, and Z, people will go, oh, she's a lunatic, she's crazy, yeah, she's a druggie, she's a this, she's a that. She comes out with all this bullshit, you know, whatever, right? She's traumatized because of the fire. That's what they'll pin it on. And what we need to do is go, that's your option, that's your way out of this little problem that you think you're in, Mr. Whoever, right? But you're selling buildings still as a realtor that have got a swimming pool that's never been opened, a gym that's never been opened, that's moved and cracked, right? All of that stuff people don't know, because they just bought a property and think it looks really nice. Believe me, I don't know what it's called, treetops or whatever it's called, but it looks nice on the pictures. It looks nice on the outside. Really lovely trees, beautiful stream. You'd think anyone would want to live there, unless you knew what was in that stream, unless you knew what pollutants were going in there, unless you knew that it was, I'm not going to use the words in case of being told off later, but should we say the word effluent? Is that allowed? All I'm going to say is that stuff that you don't want to be drinking or washing in is in that water. And the levels of the water were climbing every day. You was in there with a bloody pen and a marker and a bit of, she was taking photographs of a piece of wood and marking it and taking pictures and marking it and taking pictures. Now, that isn't the sign of somebody who isn't educated. That isn't the sign of somebody who's is delusional. That isn't the sign of somebody who's lost the plot. That is somebody who is documenting and acting to make sure that their case is watertight. Good, that was a joke. But, you know, it was absolutely watertight. And then they try to say, you're delusional and we need to put you away for so long. So the actual truth of it is, you've got so much evidence, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're not listening in now. Hi, if you are. They're probably going to watch they're probably going to watch it back, because ultimately anybody who is standing up against the rules, they just go squash. We don't want that, right?
Yep.
And you have never done that, and I'm really proud of you for it, but I know it's taking its toll. I know. And it will, and we cannot, and I'm asking anyone who knows a solicitor who would work pro bono, who could stand by Michelle's side. That is what we need. We managed to get somebody to stand next to Ellen Room, who Annie will tell you, the son, we believe he was doing a challenge of TikTok when he lost his life. And they just put it down as teenage suicide, tick, bosh, done, you know. And she's been fighting for his social media records, and they won't give them to her. Funny that, isn't it? So, but they needed to go to court, and we managed to get a solicitor, and then we had to get a barrister, and all these things cost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds. And we've got them all for free by begging. And I mean begging, okay? I'm going to say this now. I would like everybody in this room, and there's how many people in the room? There's got to be 20 or 30 people here who know you and care about you.
I don't know who's on LinkedIn or YouTube
well,
or
it's
Facebook.
Probably somebody from the council. So maybe, you know, they could help out here. But, you know, if you are somebody who can help, we've got to give support to Michelle. We've got to. And somebody's got to come up with, not the money. I'm not asking people for money. We're not beggars here. What we are is desperate. two different things, right? It's two
Yeah.
different things. We're not beggars, we're desperate. And we don't want money. A few quid here and a few quid there is not going to help. What's going
Yeah,
to
no.
help is someone stepping forward with the right legal qualifications that will stand by your side, read what's happened to you, understand what's happened to you, and then support you through it so that you can actually take on these people. That's what I believe. And I'm not American, as you can tell. So I don't give a shit about you guys. If you are listening or watching, I'm telling you now, I don't give a flying what. I don't intend to come to the States anytime soon. So, whatever. I'm telling you now, if you don't support this woman, I'm begging you to look around all your network, ask around your network, see who you know, see who could do this, because without it, Michelle will not get to court. Because representing yourself is like it's like going to battle with a Stanley knife, if you know what one of those is, or a knife and fork against a tank. You will get
Unfortunately,
just
it's not even just solicitors. Like, I'm being denied medical care. I'm being told that my escrow money is going to be given back to the property management company that that created this harm. Like, it's not even just a lawyer. Like, my body's medically deteriorating. I'm sick.
why can you not get medical aid now?
Why is Cleveland Clinic denied medical care? I cannot answer that question.
So Cleveland Clinic are the place they put you in.
University Hospital, there was University Hospitals and Cleveland Clinic were the two, and then there's Summa Hospital, which was where the psych ward stuff was. So really, that's not gonna work.
Not gonna work. Annie, can you not just put some pictures up?
I told you that it was not. It was you were gonna get glitching.
I think just some pictures might be easier. So just go back to the medical care a minute. So they paid, or the who paid for you to stay in the psych ward and the other hospitals and everything else? Right. Okay. So everybody is entitled to Medicaid, aren't they?
I have medical insurance. They
Right.
did give me back my insurance. When you helped me was when all of a
Yep.
sudden my disability and insurance disappeared. No, I got that back. I just can't get the appropriate medical care I need now. I don't know why I can't see the oncologist that removed the breast tumor. I don't know why the infectious disease doctor's staff said that they won't see me because of a rash. I don't know why I learned I have bradycardia in the hospital in Las Vegas and I am not able to see a cardiologist. I can't answer these questions. And that is a lot of why Annie and I have had hours of discussion and finally agreed to do this event, because there are a lot of why questions that I can't answer.
So again, do we need legal support to
We
get
need
you
legal support and medical care.
right? So, but I mean, do we need legal support to initiate the medical care as well?
Probably at this
Right.
point.
So
But
whoever this
it's now
legal
it's at this
person
point.
is
So
it two different people?
I'm struggling right now with the realization that how sick I've gotten over the last 2 years, I at least here where I am, like I'm scared to see the doctors. I'm s- I'm in so
I
much
understand that.
physical pain, and I can't even bring myself to like walk into a hospital and ask for help. And I go through the pain and like the discharge and the extractions because it's like I don't even I don't it's been
Because you're
really
fearful that
traumatizing.
they'll just lock you up again.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they'll look at your records and that's what it will say.
yeah,
Oh. And that's the same with anywhere now, because when you do this legal thing, you're going to have to get that medical case closed so that nobody else gets to see it. Otherwise, that's with you for life. Because I know somebody else who's gone through a very similar scenario, and once they've got all that medical stuff on you,
yeah.
they'll
Once
they'll
it's
just
there,
look
you
at it and
can't get
go,
rid of it.
yeah.
It's there.
The only way you can do it is to close the file, and that has to be done through a judge, and again illegal for that. So, I mean, I think the one thing that
Yeah,
I
the
say that comes from
solicitors.
this
Yeah,
is we need legal help, and we
yeah.
need legal help right
Yesterday.
now, right
Yeah.
now, right here. And Annie, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I'd like you to post this message out on Michelle's everything that's gone on today, just like this whole what this room was about, to everybody on your LinkedIn. I'll do the same to my LinkedIn and request urgent medical and legal help for Michelle, and
I am
see
so
if somebody
appreciative
will
of
step forward.
everybody.
Sorry.
I said that I'm like so appreciative. Like you guys have always been supporting me, and I'm just grateful.
But if we do that, Michelle, at least like Annie's got however many thousand, I've got however many thousand, Sherry and Aaron and Cyrus, and everyone's got X number of thousand. They may all be different, they may be the same. But if we
Right.
send out
Yeah.
a message saying, now I need you to do this for us. I need you to write down like maybe 10 points what you need and why you need it, right? And then that will be what the post will be. Okay, so you put the post out that says, I need this now, please support, list the things you need, right? And then everybody, all your friends, everybody in the room, I'm sure, I pledge for most of them because I know most of them would repost it and ask for help. All right. And that means it will hit 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. Who knows how many thousand? Somebody somewhere is going to understand that this needs to be supported and helped.
I appreciate it. And that's honestly like literally me and Annie kept going back and forth about that, like for the event. And it's like the what's the why, and I'm like, all I want is the awareness.
But get that list of
Yes,
a
we will
post,
definitely work on that and get you
not chapter and verse, because that's what you can give them when they meet
just a
you. We
quick
want
bullet point.
the bullet points and what you need now. I need this now. Please support, and then the list. All right. And then I promise you, Annie, we'll all do that, won't we?
Yes. Oh,
Sherry, are we all
I
in the
don't
room?
doubt that at all.
Yeah,
Right. We'll all do that. And at least if we've done nothing else, it will hit 200, 300,000 people potentially around the US. And
yeah.
that will make, number one, it will make it something that's not going to go away, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah. We can't be silenced no more.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. Look, let's do it. Right. Let me try again for my
I'm gonna go
this video.
silent because my throat's killing me. Can we let Sherry talk for a minute?
Yeah.
How do I shut myself up? I can't remember.
You can mute yourself, Paulette.
I can't. It won't. It says no. Keep talking. I haven't
Paulette,
got a mute.
I love your ideas, and you're absolutely right. I thought of Michelle when I heard about the class action lawsuit with Meta. Michelle, I love you, and we're going to do this for you and for your legacy, Angelica, Angelina.
Angelina.
Um, what I know from being a legislative advocate for children in the state of Washington is that we need to go to our legislators and then bring this to the press. I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, you have went to your local like councils and
We've done
city.
all local, we've done city, county, state, federal, and international. And I've gone to the New York Times, the Washington Post, local affiliates. Like, yes. So yeah, we have done all of that.
Michelle, I'm willing to help you go to your state legislators because I know that you you need help. You need representation. You deserve this. And if anything, from what I understand, there have this is crimes against these are well, we know they're crimes against humanity because you went to international, you
Yeah. The
and you
United
received.
Nations Human Rights Council did
Yes,
accept my grievance.
absolutely. So here's what I believe needs to happen is we speak to your legislators, your state senator,
So I
and
went to the governor, and then we have State Representative Sykes, who is for where I'm at. And I did
mhm,
go to her constituent staff. I actually
mhm,
have that meeting recorded, and
mhm.
it's still been silence.
Then the next step is to go to the press because this representative who is supposed to who was voted in by us or by you for the state of Ohio, um, they need to be
I
called out.
unfortunately did vote for her.
Michelle, I I've been so worried about you. And right now we need to get like Paulette was saying, action items, get this taken care of because this what's happening to you is it, it's a travesty. Michelle,
It's like it's surreal, and it took me. I know it sounds unbelievable. Like I know this, but I also know how unbelievable it is that that's exactly why it's documented.
and I know your truth from for the past year when we were talking every night. You would share with me, and I saw with my own eyes,
I
with my
say,
own
right, you're on
ears, and I
FaceTime seeing it happen.
yes, yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. And Paulette knows, and Annie does, and so we believe you. We see you, we hear you, and we love you.
I love you guys too. Very much. Y'all just don't. It's like one of the things I would say a lot is it's I know what support I need, and I find it very dehumanizing and such a tragedy that all that support I'm needing and getting is from international souls that love me and have never even got to be with me. Like y'all love me more than the city I fought to protect.
And it sounds like, well, I know this. It is a cover up because I know how diligent you are, how precise, and you have a beautiful, brilliant mind. And so we need we need to find and see, this is what my thought is. Your district attorney should be representing you because this is a crime against the state.
I thought by
Michelle,
going to the attorney general with all the evidence I went with, I did believe that was gonna happen.
well,
The
Like,
I
and
whole
he
really,
thing,
has all the
the whole
PDF
thing is a cover up.
emails, and
Mhm.
he has the videos, and he has the photos, he has different links. Like, I have sent him emails, like they're now PDF files, but like I mean it's like for anybody that's listening, like and then they don't know or the story or the back history or it, like I just and if there is anybody in my city listening, it was never personal. It was
not at
personal for
all.
me, but like this whole process was like never financially motivated. It was never malicious.
That's why we're going to help you. And like Paulette recommended, doing a post, and with my connections, Paulette's, Annie's, anyone who's willing to
Like,
repost, we will find
I don't
someone for you.
understand. So, like, this property that we're discussing, with there's a raw sewage leak that has made me sick. And, like, I don't understand how, like, people are not being told, because it's less than 2 geographical miles from our water treatment plant. So I don't understand, like, how the mayor is able to say, hey, we have elevated HAA5 in our water, but not tell the people why the HAA5 is being put in the water. Like, my father retired from the wastewater treatment plant. I grew up in this valley. I grew up in these metro parks. I grew up with my dad working double shifts to provide for us. So any time that I got to spend with him, father, daughter, like, I would go see him in the middle of a double shift at this water plant.
You have the
I
geologist
know
report.
for a fact HAA5 is not going to be added to our water system just because an employee wants to do it. There has to be a direct command order to an employee. Like, that is a very dangerous chemical with no known filter.
And you have the geologist report, right? Remember that, Michelle? That is like golden
I have
right there.
all the emails with the ODNR geologists.
Hmm.
Even though when you like go into the account, like when I log into those accounts, like that you have emails from Paulette, all you guys have emails from these
Hmm.
accounts. Like now, like if you guys were to try to go send me an email, it's gonna tell you that that email address has never existed on a server. I have no access to my digital accounts. The accounts that the United Nations Human Rights Council was communicating to me on for the investigation, like I have no
Yes.
access to these digital accounts. I don't like when you're homeless and you don't have a car, you can't get a PO box with the United States Post Office. So I don't even like have the right access to my mail. So it's like, make it make sense. The
How
PO
are they
box I'm
pay? Are they
using right
paying your
now is one that
benefits,
my
Michelle?
sister got because she felt bad, but it's not mine.
Are they paying your benefits?
I got back my benefits October maybe. That was rough. It was so like apparently I got a letter that said that like Social Security Administration was told by the IRS that in the year 2023 I didn't report 40,000 excess dollars of income. Well, I'm on the disability. I didn't work and get $40,000, especially for some dog training thing. But then it like that was the fire. I was in therapy all year. But then when I pointed this out to them, they went, "Oh, well, now we need to do another medical review." I just had that. So that was a full months and months and months of no income, no medical insurance. Like that was in this whole snowball avalanche of a clusterfuck. Like that was another moment of a really bad phase.
I remember it. I remember it very clearly. I remember the fact you didn't have food. I remember the fact that
You ordered Angelina dinner
I did.
several times.
I did. Don't tell people that because I get other phone calls. Yeah, I've helped. I'm not gonna lie. Of course I've helped.
Like
No,
it took so much to like
no human
not
being
feel the guilt
listening
and
to your
shame.
story wouldn't want to help Michelle. But the point that Sherry's making, and it's absolutely right, and I really stand by this. I think if we get some kind of record from you with just the bullet points of what you would really, your ideal, who would be the kind of solicitor, legal person you would need for this whole debacle.
I most
And maybe it's
recently
two.
just sent a packet to the ACLU.
What's that?
The ACLU is like a civil rights legal activist type group.
Okay. Yeah.
So I recently sent the like packet, like I made the handwritten packet to them, but then I photocopied it and I sent it to the ACLU National, as well as I sent copies of it to the New York Times and the Washington Post.
Michelle, it
shut
almost
that down.
seems like
Michelle, without the right people behind you, a story like that just gets shut down because they'll go to the, is it Akron, however you say it. They'll go to Akron, they'll ask for right to reply, and they'll go, "Oh, Michelle, yeah, she's been in the psych ward, don't worry." And as soon as they say that, that information gets dismissed, right?
Yep.
And when I told you, when you go to court, they will throw all of that. But then if you've got disclosure before you walk through that door, your solicitor will already know it because you'd have told them. They know what they're going to throw at you. And then he's able to say, or she's able to say, "Look, this whole thing has been a cover-up from day bloody one. And these are the evidence, whether you like it or not." I've got God knows how many emails from you with photographs and information on. I'm sure Sherry has, I'm sure Annie has. And the point is, between all of us, we can reconstruct so much. And I'm sure you've got a lot of it on your laptop.
It was very intentional sending
Of
you
course,
all the
of course.
like I literally was in a moment that like I like the way that like the when we were being followed and the like surveillance, like when those things were
The red
happening,
car
like
and the white car.
I didn't
remember
know
it.
if I didn't know the amount of danger I was in, but I knew I felt like I was in danger, and that's why we like discussed like giving you guys files, and if I did go missing, like that was real.
And also making the very brave decision to make Angelina safe and giving her a place where you knew where your sister would look after her. And you always told me that if anything ever happened to you, that's where you wanted her to go. You didn't want her to go into the system because you know that's what they would have done. And so you prevented that and you preempted that. And for that, I think both of us, well, all of us will be forever grateful. But the most important thing now is Annie get some of these files and gets them up, then we can attach them to this document that you're going to produce. And it's going to be very, very, very broad stroke, but it's going to give an exact idea to whoever we're looking for to represent you that it's going to be a Goliath case again, just like the one, and you can state it, just like the one of against Meta and Facebook recently. It's no different to that. That's what
It's
it feels like,
unprecedented. It is.
right?
It's
It's
unprecedented.
no
Yes.
different. And when I
Yes.
saw that, and Sherry will agree with me, I'm sure, that when we saw that happening, we thought of you. And it was immediate that I thought of you.
I watched
And
it
it
this
does
morning
feel
and I
like that.
remember just thinking like I am so proud of that girl. Like I just knew she was a 20-year-old girl and I just remember thinking like I was like I am so proud of her because it's like what you go through in those types of legal battles and just I get it. I
Michelle,
get
that
it.
girl is you. And it is time to civilly go
That's right.
after, yes. And then what, from what I understand, then the your counsel does not get paid unless you get paid.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we need to
Hmm.
get counsel first.
Yeah.
But yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
And do
we,
you
although we say
need,
pro bono, it's going to be basically be no win, no fee. And it's going to have, but it's got to be attractive because people have got to see that this is going to be a landmark for them to take on with all the evidence you've got. You're going to take down a whole state
It's
district
literally every
council.
sector. Like I literally need legal support in the education sector, in the medical sector, the housing sector, like the whistleblower sector. Like I literally need a legal team. And it's like, and then
Mhm.
when I think back, like with the retrospect of it, it's like I got to remind myself that I don't deserve to feel shame and guilt.
No, 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 no.
Like
Yeah.
everything I was doing, I just want my daughter proud.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
like I look back and then like I see how far I've gotten, and then I gotta remind myself like I did that alone. Like nobody stood with me in court filing the motions, and it's
And
hard to be
Michelle,
proud of something that you're still stuck in the middle of.
you have a home. I'm in Seattle, Washington. You can come live with me. It's just me, myself, and I. So I'm you. You've always known that. And when you were gone, I was worried that maybe you were in a psychiatric home. And I'm just thank God you're here. And we're going to be proactive and help you because
Yeah.
I'm grateful
that's what we
so
do.
much.
That's what family does.
And the most important thing, I want to just say this as well, that emotions can run wild and we can get angry, we can get emotional, we can get all those things. That's fine. But when it comes to the courtroom, I want the old Michelle, the feisty, the angry, the do you want to put your gloves on, Michelle, right? Because
Yeah.
that Michelle is in there. She's just been beaten down, right? And we need to dig her back out again and get her to have that belief and strength that she can do this. And you can, you know, that negative narrator that they've put in your mind that you are a nutcase and that you need this support, that support, you're a psychiatric case, you're delusional, blah, blah, blah. That is all negative narrating that they've deliberately put in your mind to try and stop the action and the court cases and everything else. That is all it is. It's almost like the worst. It's almost like an army situation, and they use torture technique to try and beat that message out of you. But that message is so deep rooted, my dear, that it's right the way through to every fiber of your being, and they'll never knock that out of you, right?
No.
So here's
Hey, I've come way too far to look back now.
thank you. So that's where the old Michelle would have said. That's
That's
what
why I
the
told
old
Eddie, it's
Michelle.
like we were a victim, and then a survivor, and then an advocate, and
And
then
then
somewhere I became an activist, and I'm like trying to figure out that role.
you're not an activist. You're somebody fighting for your rights. You're not fighting for the country. You're not fighting for
It's
gay
like it's not that I'm
rights,
fighting for the country, but
right?
it's like I can't believe. I have a very hard time believing I am the only one going through this.
Perhaps the others are willing. And I'm sure, because any just will tell you the place in Margate where he's just come from renting it out for however many years, you know, rooms full of dog poo, mice running around the place. I mean, you can't imagine what Annie's place was like. I mean, I couldn't even. He showed me videos, and I was like, I was crawling. My skin was crawling watching them. But he tormented me because he's evil like that. But the point I want to make is you kept that place impeccably clean and tidy, and you made it a home, and it was somewhere that you educated Angeline, and you were working so hard on what you was doing, okay? Even though you knew it was dangerous, even though every day you said there was a thunderstorm, you would be scared absolutely crapless
The
that
flooding,
somehow
like
it was going to come down on you, right? You would say to me, "Is today the day?" And I don't understand how everybody else in the block and people that were buying, when you told me there were realtors there selling the places, I was like, what? But of course they want to shut you up. Of course
yeah.
they do. They've still got 10, 15 more to sell, and they're building more, right? All on this ridiculously dangerous land that could subside at any time, right? So here's I'm going to shut up because I'm really got a sore throat. But what I really want to say is to please, please, please. I wasn't going to come up, but you bring this out in me, and I don't care. As I said to you, the Americans can come after me. I don't give a what's it, and not a rat's ass. The point is this: somebody has done wrong, and those people that have done wrong need to be held to account. So we need to be really cleaner, whiter than white with our what we're looking for. We need to give very specifics, and then we go out and we find those people through all of our connective networks. We ask and we show, and we say, this is a person, a genuine person who has been wronged. And if you have any kind of heart, you'll be willing to help, right? And it's going to be what you call no win, no fee. I think that's how we call it over here. I think it's the same over there. So it's pro bono or no win, no fee or however. But if you win, they get paid, and they will have to pay the costs as well, just like Meta and Facebook. So I know it seems like a Goliath situation, but we can do this collectively. You're no longer on your own. You're no longer in a psych room. You're no longer being told negative narrator telling you all that you're wrong, you're mistaken, you know, what's wrong with you, why are you believing this stuff, you know all the stuff that they would have tried to plant in there to try and remove it. There's no way. You're stronger than that, okay? So what you do is you accept what they've said, you put it in the bin, and we go forward.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. I'm going to disappear off the stage. Please, as soon as you get that done, I will make sure I get
I'll
that out
message
to
you
everybody.
tomorrow. Well, tomorrow, but yes, you rest first.
We rest, and then we come at it fresh. And when
Yes.
you come at it fresh with the fighting spirit, Okay? With every
Yes.
little creepy crawly that's crawling out of you, you tell that little creepy
I'm super
crawly,
ready to
listen,
not have
whatever
many
it is
cookies.
that's happening, right? Which I can't even think about. I want you to think about if those kids are swimming in that water, what they've ingested and what's going on in their gut right now. And think about them as well as you, all right? And make sure that that's in your mind, because you're now fighting for everybody who's stupid enough to go blinkers on, I can't see it. Oh yeah, there's another crack. Never mind, we'll be fine. They wouldn't let us live here if it wasn't safe, right? There was the guy downstairs. He knew. The guy downstairs. He used to meet you, and he knew,
Yep. He
right?
was actually in the comments. Colton, he's in the comments.
He's here. Great.
Yep.
Well, hello. I've spoken to you. You don't know me, but we have spoken. I was the UK friend that she spoke about. I'm really sure that they will know that you're doing this. I'm sure that the radar will be on us. And you know what? The sooner that email is that not email, what do we call it? Post
Audio.
is done.
Yes.
The post, we get that out. And what we need to do is get that post out as quickly as we can before they try to stop it.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
once it's hit 11,000 of mine or 12,000 or whatever it is, and once it's hit 12,000 of Eddie's, and once it's hit all the thousands of the various people that are in this room, suddenly you can't quieten down 100,000 posts. It's suddenly not you against them, it's 100,000 against them. And all we're doing is fishing for the right person to say, okay, I'm up for the challenge. Think of all the good PR that the company that are going to get for taking on Meta and Facebook. They are never going to be needing to look for work ever again. All right? Because they took a punt.
Yep.
And it was a big punt, right?
Yep.
Those people will never need to ever advertise again, because they're going to have so much work coming their way. There'll be over, I think there's 200,000 cases already that are lined up of people waiting to take them to court.
Oh my goodness.
200,000, right? Now, one company won't be doing that, obviously. But my point in case is that once one case is won and it's proven, then hopefully other people in your block, your next door neighbor, your lovely next door neighbor, people who really would like to have the guts that you have, but aren't maybe quite as aware or able to, perhaps working full time and can't dedicate the hours that you have to doing this, they will get on board. They will get on board. They will fill that courtroom, okay? Because they will suddenly realize that that lady was actually doing us all a favor.
Yeah.
All right. On that
For
note,
sure.
I'm going to say, I don't know, is aloha hello or is aloha goodbye? I never know. Sherry, I apologize.
Oh,
Whatever it
it's
is.
both.
It's both.
And yes, we love you, Paulette. Thank you so much.
I'm just a noisy person from the UK, but I will do whatever I can.
You're an amazing person in the UK.
I love you, and
I
I'm
love you.
so
Thank
sorry
you.
for everything that's happened to you. All right, and it's got to stop now. All right,
Yes. We'll get through it. We've
Bye.
been
All right.
getting through it.
We will, and it's not on your own
Yes.
now. All right, all right. Bye bye, sweeties. Bye bye.
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 Michelle, we will not let go of your hand. I'm not letting go of your hand. And is Cody with you? Or is
No, he's with
he with
Angelina.
he's with Angelina. Okay.
Yeah. I said like I
Will
was
you
at the homeless shelter, and then like I couldn't handle that no more. So I just pay an astronomical amount to be at the Airbnb because it was too cold in the streets.
Michelle, will you call me tonight or
Yeah,
message me? Okay.
I definitely will. Annie, are you able to like get any of the videos to work? Are we glitching? I wouldn't doubt it. Hello?
You think I've disappeared? No, I'm still here,
Oh,
Michelle.
there you are.
Of course I'm here.
I said, could you get any of the videos to work?
Yeah, well, let's try. It doesn't hurt, right? So, how you doing, Gladys? Glad you're here. So, Christy, of course, I see you as well. Christy, we mentioned meeting now. You see where I am, right? Well, hopefully, when we're done.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Is there another one of your friends, Michelle? Dawn?
That's Jackie's sister. She lives out by where there was raw sewage poisoning also.
It sounds as bad as it is, right? It really does. Okay, let's try again, Michelle. Let's try again.
Or do a different one.
Yeah. There are two. There's more videos I want to show you. So, okay.
Men great till they gotta be great. Don't text me, tell it straight to my face. Best friend set me down in the salon chair. Shampoo press, get you out of my hair. Fresh photos with the bomb lighting.
Okay, let's try this one. See?
Men great till they gotta be great. Don't text me, tell it straight to my face. Best friend set me down in the salon chair. Shampoo press, get you out of my hair. Fresh photos with the bomb lighting. New man on the Minnesota Vikings. Truth hurts, needed something more exciting. You tried to
Hold on. So we know that one's gonna work, right? So what are we watching?
Michelle.
What we're watching with Michelle? What we're watching?
The one you just seen is that. So the spots that was on my leg is how this infection started. And that was in like April of 2024. And they told me it was poison ivy. And then by June 6th of 24 is when I found out it was a parasitic infection. And then that like red thing that you seen, that was in October of 2024. And that was the first time I felt movement in my body, and it was in my ear. And that was the first parasite to be extracted from my body.
Yeah, and then there's many more. So if you're eating, try not to be, right. Let's go again. So now there's just many more down this line.
men great till they gotta be great. Don't text me, tell it straight to my face. Best friend set me down in the salon chair. Shampoo press, get you out of my hair. Fresh photos with the bomb lighting. New man on the Minnesota Vikings. Truth hurts, needed something more exciting. You tried to break my heart, oh that breaks my heart. That you thought you ever had it, no you ain't from the start. Hey, I'm glad you're back with your bitch. I mean, who would wanna hide this? I will never, ever be your side chick. I put the singing single, ain't worried about a ring on my finger, so you can tell your friend, shoot your shot when you see him. It's okay, he already in my DM. Why men great till they gotta be great? Don't text me, tell it straight to my face. Best friend set me down in the salon chair. Shampoo press, get you out of my
Michelle.
Michelle, you know I'm praying for you. This
I
is
know.
so hard to see. This is so inhumane.
It's
I
hard
love
to live
you.
through. Every
Um,
day, like, I extract these things from my body, and to know that doctors took an oath, and they tell me that I'm not, that this isn't real, but you just seen the photos. It's very real.
I said there's a few photos as well. There's thousands of photos. Literally, there's so many more.
Thousands. And then like the worms in the mouth, like they're always clear. And like I learned like that, because like
Hold on,
nobody
hold
would
on,
like,
hold on. There's more, right? There's that's
oh
not
my
remember.
God.
If you need to say, I think there's more videos. I might as well show them because. That's just the weirdest thing ever, right? And to say you're lying, you're delusional. There's nothing
or that
there.
I'm self-harming for drugs. I don't know who would lie about worms coming out of their tongue.
Ridiculous. Unthinkable. Genuinely. Unthinkable. Yeah.
This is my reality. I
I tell
mean, they come out of my breast. It's my body is systemically infected. I need infectious disease doctors, and I was told last week by the Cleveland Clinic that they will not allow me to see one. To go get more testing. I don't know what more testing could be done to show what everybody just saw.
Unthinkable. Really, I'm astonished, truly astonished. And then they lock you up for being delusional, which is just.
I mean, they made her delusional.
They said I was delusional and self-harming and seeking drugs, and they said I think that drone insects are drones and that the government is after me.
Michelle, maybe we need to pay a visit to the governor's mansion. Sit outside there and
I cannot, I refuse to say that. That's the last thing I need is getting arrested because nope. I need people to share, and I need people to write the governor, and I need people to be asking their local politicians and elected officials, why is this being allowed to happen? Because it's not only happening in Akron, Ohio.
In the US in 2026, that's unthinkable. So it was even in the third world, they'll call a doctor.
Yep. And I mean, like, I don't understand. Like, I've literally gone to this. I've reached out to the CDC on myself. I've sent them the photos. I've bet like something is not right with, like, it's not okay.
Michelle, when you say that the Cleveland Clinic, their infectious disease specialist, will not see you, have you actually went to their offices?
Yeah, they won't schedule the appointments. They told me to go get
They
more
won't.
testing. That I'm not sick enough. That the rash spreading across my body with the movement I feel in my throat because the parasite that just ripped out of my jaw. Like they
Sorry.
yeah, they said that I have to go get more medical testing. That the infectious disease doctor will not see me.
How do I come
Sorry,
out of this?
Michelle.
I'm trying to come out of this. I don't know why this is suddenly taking over my screen, Michelle.
I told you there would be technical difficulties during this event.
Right. So now you've finished. Can you stop now, please? Obviously not. No. Right. Where am I? No, I'm in the wrong place. Right. I want to be here. So that was me somewhere else, right? Which is just the oddest, Michelle. The oddest. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, look, the fact that it's there for all to see, Michelle. Say totally mad, just a bit. As Sherry said, no, they've made you mad. That's.
I think I feel dehumanized and abandoned. I feel very let down. Like, I mean, we're sent to school and in kindergarten, and like the Pledge of Allegiance is fucking drilled into our mentals. And by second grade, like, we've robbed our children of all their creativity, and we've taught them to sit in a classroom and shut up and obey and raise your hand to ask a question. And like, it's like, but what I've learned is that everything I was taught is a facade. Because what I was taught and what I've read and what our Constitution says is not what is happening.
Michelle, we love you, and you have more friends here than you will ever know, and we will help you.
Michelle, think how you want to leave it today. What's your ask? So of course I know you mentioned it a bit. So
The ask is
up
to
to now.
just share, just talk about the uncomfortable topics, to not be afraid. Like I have not, obviously, like I've gone from a city county level all the way to like United Nations human rights. Like that organization gets like tens of thousands of like requests for help every year, and they accepted my request. So obviously something is not okay. So
Clearly,
why aren't we talking about it?
I mean, my ask is for if there's there's a doctor who who might see this, who might know what we're looking at.
Like they put me on this medicine called albendazole, which is an anti-parasitic, and like that one big worm that was on my finger, that one actually came out of my jaw while taking that medicine, and I was supposed to take 54 doses of it, but by dose 24 my vision was rapidly deteriorating and like getting foggy, and it was like I was losing my vision, which is like they said that if there's a parasite in the eye, that is like the number one risk.
And then you went to the optometrist,
And they said that everything was okay.
even though they can see there's something in your eye.
I can see it.
The
It's
X-ray
in
shows
the
there's something in
imaging.
your eye. I can see it.
You've seen the imaging. There's something. It's the same paper that this doctor, in his own handwriting, said, "This is your left eye. This is your right eye. There's nothing wrong." And then when you look at the paper, it's the same eye with the whatever is in my retina zoomed in on.
You see, I'm sure everyone, anyone who's hearing this, you think we're mad. I said, this poor woman's gone on. She's been talking about this for years, literally. And even I thought she was mad. I thought she lost her mind.
Yeah.
But she's not mad. You can see clearly she's not mad. At the very least, they've made her mad. They've made her delusional. It's not.
I think that at this point, like I believe my mayor and my county executive and our governor and I think at this point, I believe our entire local government are the delusional ones.
Hmm.
Because how are you getting this amount of evidence and these phone calls and emails and doing nothing? How are you not telling your city about a raw sewage leak by their water treatment plant? Or why there's HAA5 in the water? Or why are you making there be like 5,000 people living in 1,400 apartments that are full of mold and health and safety hazards? Like there was a carbon monoxide leak that killed somebody. There was a fire. 19 of us families lost everything. People fell through dry rotted decks and were seriously injured. So as far as I'm concerned, it's our city officials that are the delusional ones.
That's a sad truth, Michelle. That's a sad truth. Yeah, like I say, it's unbelievable, literally unbelievable.
It's like I couldn't even make this shit up if
Hmm.
I wanted to.
Which is just odd, very odd, and anyway.
I think I would just add, like, share your videos that you make so people can see the things we've been talking about, because seeing and hearing are two different things. And just share. and have the hard conversations, because we're born to die. I know I'm sick. I know I'm probably medically declining faster than I should be, and I'm okay with that because I'm going to heaven. But I think that there's a lot of people complicit in what's happening to me, that it's time for them to have some really deep personal, conversations with whoever they believe their creator to be. Because I pray to my creator every day to forgive the people doing this. And I don't want to hold no ill will. But like, I ain't gonna lie, I hope on their judgment day it's a little harsh.
I think that's more than fair enough, right? Yeah. You have much more grace than me. So yeah. I'm not that nice. I'm not that understanding. Yeah,
It's not
of
about
course.
being nice and understanding. It's about living with the ill will and the resentment
Mm.
and the hatred, and knowing what it does to your soul, and
Yeah,
not wanting that bitterness.
yeah, yeah. I think that no, it's of course, only some people get to see you when you're freaking out. That's the best way I can put it, right? And so many of us think, is Michelle just going crazy again? But I say I would be going crazy every minute of every day.
I don't know how I don't go crazy every minute of every day.
Neither do I, really. I really, really don't.
I mean, I've been working on that book. I find creative outlets the best I can, but I just literally take it day by day. It's literally one step at a time.
Michelle, I said, no, things would change. Things would change. Things will have to change. Yeah, there's no way around it. This could, now that people are seeing what you're living with. Yeah, I guess I can only pray that we'll find someone who's interested and who wants to do the right thing. I said, I know you frame this now as a being authentic issue, right? Being
Right.
authentic,
Like
and do
not
you,
getting weaponized.
yeah, and do you do the right thing, or do you carry on business as usual?
Right. Like I've been told no so many times that it's like I don't know how to prepare for the yes.
Mm. Yeah, it's sad. It's
Michelle,
terrible.
we're the yes.
I
Annie
know. I know. And
and
I'm gonna
and
call you as soon.
Paulette.
I'm gonna FaceTime you as
Good,
soon as we get
good.
done on here.
Yes. No, look. So we are almost gone. Almost. Yeah. This last moment we're paying for Annie's determination. Annie's. I'm
You're
never be.
determined to make them
I'm.
work, and I
I'm never.
told you to expect.
I found a way to make it work, Michelle.
I told you that there was gonna be technical difficulties.
That's
It's the
just part.
story of my
Part
life
of
right
life.
now.
Yeah, that's part of life, right? That's how life goes. Yeah, we're not going to be beaten. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's try this one. So.
I, you're gonna have to post them on your feed.
Hmm.
They're not gonna let you play it. because it's that bad. People watching, like, you guys should understand what Indy's trying to show you is that bad.
It's not that bad, Michelle. No, this is any you're talking about. Seriously. Okay, there's only one last resort that I have, Michelle.
You're determined to get these clips to play. And
Yes.
I don't believe that they're going to play.
Okay, that's fine. You're allowed to believe whatever you want to believe, Michelle.
I mean, I appreciate I appreciate your determination.
And he is the godfather of LinkedIn,
I
Michelle.
know, like Godfather LinkedIn can't make it happen, then we got an issue.
Yes, I didn't get this far by giving up. You know, so I'm trying to I guess the one last thing that I think we have. There's always more things that we have, right? Okay, is that a way to show pictures? Where's Michelle's folder on the desktop? Yeah, Michelle. Today, there's Michelle's stuff. I just need to work. Okay, there you go.
And he's like, I'm gonna just click through individual photos, huh?
Hey. All right. Okay. There you go. Look, I managed to get this picture up
Well,
eventually, Michelle.
now you gotta
So,
take us
yep.
away.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
And leaking into Muddy Brook River. And that retaining wall is broken. That's where, when the river flooded and our road collapsed, like the road, and it started ripping out the retaining walls behind the buildings. And he's froze again. You can take me off and show the photos. But from what I can see around with the shiny stuff, that is active raw sewage draining into the river. You can like take me off any, make my video stay off and only show the pictures because they can't even see it.
Don't worry. We like you there, Michelle. It's fine. It's fine. People
But that's raw sewage leaking from broken sewage lines in the ground.
And just in case people, the people. Right. So as Michelle said, that orange stuff is what's dripping down this wall here, right?
The red with it's how it looks like the rust.
Mm.
And then, yep. And then the retaining walls themselves were shifting and like collapsing because of the flood. So like the raw sewage was leaking before the flooding, but then when the flood happened and the damage happened with the flood, it was like the raw sewage leak intensified.
That is as unthinkable as anything can be, Michelle. Yeah. Look, if you got anything that can help Michelle, do contact her to connect with her. She's on LinkedIn, so.
And then definitely like when Annie's done, I'm sure like you're gonna post the videos, so like it's probably easier to like watch them and just see, because once he shares them to me, I'll share them on my platform as well.
Anyways, my friends, so thank you so much. I feel like it's a weekend. I know it's not weekend; it's Thursday, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna go and
We're
do
almost there.
Get on with my
I
work.
appreciate everybody that just spent more than 2 hours with us, and any sharing and the comment. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Of course, you too, Sherry. Thank you so much. And that's Edwina, as Dawn says, they've normalized dumping waste in all of our waters. So, where I live in Cornwall, they dump waste, and it's a scandal in this country. It's a scandal. But yours is a whole different level. It's a different level completely. Anyway, look, thank you so much for being so open, Michelle, so vulnerable, to your reality. Gladys, thanks for joining us. Everyone who's joined us, Dawn, of course, we appreciate you too. Yeah, if you can help, so just by sharing the post or whatever, when you do come across it, I would appreciate that, because it just helps it to get further and reach more people.
Absolutely.
Michelle, as Sherry says, we are praying for you, all of us.
I love y'all. Thank you.
All you do, Michelle, all you do. Look, you take care, everyone. I have to end on upbeat note, right? Because
we do.
It's in this show, right? Yeah, you can thank Mike LeBlanc for my favorite song.
I still find ways to smile. I still find my blessings in every day.
Yeah, you really do. Guys, that's your strength, right? That's truly your strength.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what I would be doing, but keep being you, Michelle. They can't say you're lying anymore. That's the thing, right? So, thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Enjoy your night.
Can he see?